All right. Today I want to be talking about the duty and the fall of man. The duty and the fall of man. Now let's go back to the book of Genesis, where God, puts man in care of the Garden of Eden. Now something happened there. He discovered that Adam was given the duty, and also he was also supposed to also introduce the duty also to the woman. But then he carelessly allowed the woman to wander around, the home. And by so doing, the devil, took possession of the woman's, ignorance, and then capitalize on it and make her to eat the fruit. And now Adam carried out the duty, as I explained earlier, or as I said earlier, the duty and the fall of man. Now, when you are not in the duty, you will be busy activating the wishes of the fall. When you are not in the duty, you are busy activating the fall. And that is why the Bible talks about, a man, the devil's, an idle man is the devil's workshop. Okay, it talks about the mind that is not busy, or the hands that is not busy. It's obviously the devil's workshop. So, in order for you not to fall the fall, you have to be busy, as in the sense that you have to do the duty that you have been assigned for. Okay, whenever anyone is not busy, that person is assigned to fall rather than assigned for the duty. So you are assigned to fall. So now, when you discover this, that Adam carried out his duty diligently, he carried out his duty diligently, but the woman that he was given, custody of, he never introduced the duty to her. So, in other words, he was not carrying the woman along. If he carried the woman along, she wouldn't have, fallen and also dragged him also to the pit. So, in other words, when you are not disciplined in your home as a man, there is always a loophole. There will be a fall. Okay, if you are that type, that, I think sometimes also it is the women also that also causes these loopholes, because when he's trying to carry you along, you're like, no, do your thing and let me do my thing. You understand? So you are not allowing him to introduce to you the duty that was given to him, also to allow you also to be keying into that duty. Now, that fall comes as a result of not, carrying out the duty that was given in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. So the woman allowed the devil to come in. I mean, it also surprised me how she could understand the language of the snake. I mean, she understood the language of the snake. So the snake spoke in his own language. And that is what many women are doing today. They understood the language of the snake, but still yet, rather for them to, design it and understand it and walk away from it, when the man goes to duty, what are you doing as a woman? You should be praying. You should be praying. You should be covering your home with prayer. That is a duty. That is a duty. That's what the Bible called it, a helpmate. Call it what? A helpmate. But the Eve refused to do the duty. Rather, she was engaged in gossip. Where there is a conversation, there is a conversion. Whenever you listen to evil conversation, you are converted in one way or the other. You will start exhibiting those words that you have heard. So in order for you not to be the devil's workshop, you have to stay away from such conversation. Run away from it, flee away from it, because whenever you sit in the seat of the scornful, therefore certainly you will become the scorn. Certainly you become the scorn. If you listen to scammers, you'll be scammed. As simple as that. Give no ears to them. Do not listen to them. That is what it is. So Eve gave ears to the devil to speak. Eve gave ears for the devil to operate. Eve gave ears because now whatever you hear is stored in your memory. And whatever is stored in your memory, the heart begins to think about it. The heart begins to think about it. Now, there are women who are into conversation with illicit words. You think it's just a word. With men that are not your husband, talk about things that you don't, sexual things that you don't supposed to talk about. Now you are converted. Wherever there's a conversation, there's a conversion. Illicit words. Words that are not meant for you to discuss. It is written. He said, "Do not engage yourself in foolish words, especially with men that are not your husband." So you engage yourself in illicit words, in stupid words that does not benefit. So you are converted in one way or the other. You speak idle words. So that's how the devil managed to gain access into the woman. He started with illicit words. Through the conversation. He did not just go straight and ask her, "Is there any a tree that God said you mustn't eat?" No. He came in swiftly with conversation, with illicit words. They started talking, they started conversing, and before you know it, then boom, he asked her. Immediately she laid down her guards. Immediately she laid down her guard. Boom, the devil knew that yes, the conversation has skyrocketed. She has laid down her guards, and immediately he introduced to her, "Did the Lord say you must not eat of any fruit in the garden?" And because she was taken away by the conversation, illicit conversation, unwanted conversation, immediately she forgot what the husband told her, what the man told her. She forgot, and boom, she laid it out on the table. She said, "This one." She said, "This one." So it means that even the husband told her, said, "Do not engage in telling somebody," because the husband knew the devil, so the devil couldn't have gone to him. So the husband knew the devil, and the devil knew that the husband knew him, so he didn't want to go to him, you see. So he went through her, because she didn't know him. So he went to her, and when they started speaking, they started conversing, and she laid down her guards. It's just like a drunk man. A drunk man says anything that you did not ask him. If the one that you ask him, he will give you more than information. That's what it is. So she was drunk by the conversation that they had, and immediately he asked her, "Is there a fruit here? Is there a tree that the Lord says you should not eat?" She said, "This one." So as a married woman, you should not be in conversation with illicit, unwanted, unholy conversation with men that are not your husband. You talk about sexual issues, things that you're not supposed to be talking about with men that are not your husband. Immediately you start doing that, the devil start coming in, and your guards begin to lay down your guards. I tell you the truth, no way, in no distant time, you will begin to speak out things that you don't supposed to speak out. I promise you. You need to speak out things that you don't supposed to speak out. So be careful that you do not